We're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerd Buzz!
Nerd Buzz doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerd Buzz, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger, and with me as always,
Jeremiah Johnson.
back in the nerd room. We missed you, buddy.
Thank you.
And to my left, out of the intern camp.
Jack Hughes. There's a lot of mistakes before this episode was made.
So if you see like any black eyes on Jack or anything,
so just please help. All right. What's
So, we got some stuff to talk about this episode, and I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm really excited to hear what Jay has to say.
About the beer.
Yes!
All right. Today we are doing the Kilt Lifter Scotch Ale from Pike Brewing. And as we know, Pike's one of my favorite breweries, and I had to go back to them, and Kilt Lifter is very appropriate, so.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, because like when I was doing the home brewing, my little label name for my own brewery was Off Kilter. Then I had a Scotch ale that I brewed I called the Kilt Offer.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So I was like, yeah.
off-brand?
I don't know if I want a kilt offer, though. Who knows what's underneath that kilt?
It's the tequila of beers, only it works the other way around.
Yeah.
All right. I have the
Jeremiah's back.
berry lemonade. It has it's like a 100% soda level. I'd say.
It's all sugar.
Yeah. You got 6.5. That's not a lot. Well, that is a lot.
Keeping it local, though.
Yep. Well, and it looks like it's going to taste very blue.
Yeah.
That would be my
mine.
guess. Yeah, yours. Yeah.
It's going to taste like a lot of blue food coloring.
Yeah.
Yeah, take some sniffs. Tell me, what do you smell?
It is very
Really
malty.
weird.
It is very malty.
A little caramely smelling. It's just, I don't know. It just got real strong.
It smells sweet.
What's that noise?
Is it the fan?
Probably.
It might just be the fan.
There's a weird noise. Hopefully it's not us.
Hopefully Jack didn't mess everything up.
Yeah. But caramely smells really going to be a little sweet, but it's a Scotch ale. Scotch ales are supposed to be on the sweet side.
Yeah.
I don't think it's barrel aged, but it's got some barrel type notes to it.
A little woody.
Yeah. But anyway, enough of that. Let's taste it.
Let's do it.
I want to talk about what
Let's
I
talk about the
smell.
smell. Let's talk about it. Jack, lay it on us.
I was thinking, ooh,
Kinda blue.
some goodness. You know what I smell? I smell balls.
You smell
it
balls?
It smells like
Blue balls. Blue balls
it
are
does.
back.
It smells like the blue flavor. It smells like Otter Pops and hate and low income. I don't know. Just like I'm getting.
Wow.
Yeah. So I hope this is good. I like this soda, but maybe now that I'm a professional root beer
Oh
connoisseur,
my God.
that I don't
It's kind of funny.
want to die after
I read an
drinking this.
article, though. They were talking about Europeans coming to America, and a lot of Europeans think American root beer, like major ones that are supermarket ready, taste like mouthwash.
Really?
What is
Spot
their-
on,
I wanna
Jack.
taste
He
their
already he showed up with the refined palate.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I knew I made a good decision when
Yeah.
I
Oh my
invited
God.
you, Jack. Right? Yeah.
I'm ready to
So
go
let's
pound
taste these
town.
things. Yeah.
Alrighty.
One-way tickets all around. To all the nerds.
Through
Through all the fuzz.
Bottoms up.
Let's
Let's get
get
nerd
nerd
buzz. Share some love.
This is disgusting.
Disgusting.
I've loved this before. What am I?
It's
You've been ruined. This show has also done that for us with some beer.
Oh my god.
it's way cleaner.
It's not as heavy as I thought it would be.
Well, it's only 6.5%. So
Yeah, but
the
even
longest-
just like even in your like the mouthfeel of it, and, like it doesn't. It's not like it weighs down on your tongue. Really, it's really easy to drink.
yeah, it definitely has the sweet aftertaste. Just settles into the tongue sweet afterwards. It's got a really nice tart, caramely, toasty, kind of rich flavored hit right away, But like I said, not real heavy mouthfeel. It just washes over good. Not a lot of hop to it, which it really shouldn't have a lot of hop. But yeah, that's good.
I get a hint of the yeast mouthfeel a little bit.
I don't know where you're getting the mouthfeel from that.
I think that's right. Isn't that right? Wasn't that what I was saying? The fizz on the tongue?
You say you get a weird yeast mouthfeel. Is it the carbonation? Because yeast creates carbonation.
Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
It's a little yeast farts on my tongue.
Yeah,
So that's what you mean by create carbonation, right?
pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, yeast farts. That's like ultra worse,
I
right?
just want to throw up. This makes me feel sick. It's like balls, but with more sugar. It said it had like citric acid, so I think it is a little bit of citrus in it, but it didn't go down well. Like I smelt it and I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna taste better, but it's like it has a different taste, but there's balls in the back of my mouth. Like I'm trying to wash out, the sin, but it's still there. So yeah, I'm not gonna have fun.
Wow.
Drinking this.
You only got one more
Yeah,
glass to take to
great.
Pound Town, right?
God.
You got 2 tickets to Pound Town.
Yeah.
Nice,
I don't know
lucky
if I want
Jack.
to take that one to Pound Town. Done.
So, we're going to dive into, this is our review. We're going to wrap up our nerd play, our anime, a little bit of news in there.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to
Um,
miss an episode, but
You did have to miss an episode. How's your butt feeling? Is it all healed now?
Oh, what was that?
it was an addictomy.
I keep trying to remember that.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
What an ass. Anyway, no, I actually had my ankle reconstructed, so
You feeling better?
a little bit.
You're able to move around again.
Man, half machine.
Still can't put any weight on it, but
Yeah. And when we definitely missed you, the show kind of went to chaos a little bit.
I was very
episode.
sick. I needed to go somewhere, and then I ended up not even going.
Yeah. We need Jeremiah here to ground us
Yeah.
sometimes.
yeah.
So, do you guys want to go? You want to get our reviews out of the way, and then we can talk a little bit about news,
Yeah.
or sound good?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Because we've been not procrastinating, but we've been we haven't done this. It's felt like for 3 months now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
much.
not, but yeah. So first up, let's talk about our nerd play. We got to play Metal Gear Solid 5. We got it for free. Super amazing. It's the very first game we ever talked about and reviewed on our show. Episode 1, if you want, you can go to our website, check it out, nerdbuzz.com, where you can listen to any episode or watch it 100% free as opposed to...
Any other percentage of free
That's right, he's back.
instead of the any other percentage of free.
It wasn't like that. It was like this. Dude, it was bad. It was bad.
I was pretty stoked after that show that nobody else got sick.
Yeah.
I was afraid you were going to get
I
really
kept
sick.
it sanitary.
Yeah, you could. That whole episode, you could hear him in the background hacking up a lung. It's like every 5 minutes I could hear
turned
you.
the mic down. Whatever. I tried to be as quiet as I could.
So we reviewed it, talked about it on our first show. I gave it a 9.25. Jeremiah gave it a 9.75. Yep, and which is phenomenal scores.
Yes.
So let's dive into our revisit of Metal Gear Solid 5. Let's go over to Jack first because I think he really enjoyed the game. This might be his unicorn.
Okay, I was playing it at first, and the opening mission's super awesome, right? Spoilers if you don't want to hear it now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's it gets really weird, and there's this giant flaming whale, and then there's a flaming unicorn, and you have to fight it with guns, and the whole time I'm just like, what is happening? I thought this was a regular game, and I'm
Kojima.
like, oh, I guess it is Kojima. He just does weird
Yeah.
stuff. But I was playing it, and I got really bored really quickly, and I
Really?
feel bad, but I just had I almost had less desire to complete it than Mad Max. Because Mad Max, it was I was reaching for that platinum, and for this game, it's I'm never going to get the platinum. There's just too much to do, and it's so I just tried just playing it, and everything just kind of felt this. No, I don't know. I got really bored really quickly, and the map was so boring. It was just this desert, and all you had was D-Horse to take you around.
Did you get to explore any other maps? Did you ever make it to a different map?
No.
Because there are.
Yeah.
Is there
3 maps?
3 maps?
I can.
Yeah.
Well, aren't they
they're
all
different.
deserts?
No. One's a rainforest.
Yeah. One's kind of safari-ish, I
Yeah.
guess. Would you say that? It's
Yeah.
kind of like a hybrid sort of the two. Yeah.
Great, more desert. No,
Yeah,
but
half
nothing-
desert, Jack.
It didn't feel fun to explore that much. I just kind of felt slow, and like I was just kind of aimlessly wandering around. But I was.
So
I
you
was,
didn't get into the upgrades and all the.
I tried
extra
to. Like
companions
I
and
was
stuff?
really trying. Like I had to try to care. It felt weird. And I was talking to Marcus before you got here about another game, another open world game that I really like for like, and it does something that this game doesn't. So like, Horizon Zero Dawn, great game. You start off exploring like the mountains, this and all the snowy areas, and I feel like that's not a place where a lot of open world games go. Like Mad Max, desert. Metal Gear Solid 5, at least for the first part, desert. A lot of the Assassin's Creed games, I think, at least have some sort of desert area, and I'm so sick and tired. And it starts off with like the snowy mountains, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And so like you go through the game, and I was just getting tired. I did like literally everything in that area, and I'm like, I need to do something else. And if the next part of the map is desert, because you can see it's all cloudy, I'm like, or if it's all snowy, I'm gonna not like this game. And then as you walk out, it opens up, and suddenly it's like, yeah, it's desert. Like, yeah, it's a desert, but it has all these mesas. You can see Meridian, the place that's like being talked about the whole game, like the capital of this world. You see this giant, like, weird metal tower sticking up, and you're like, what's that? And you can see these giant, like, birds, the storm birds flying around, and you're like, what? Those are huge, and I gotta kill those. And it does a good job of making you excited again, like reinvigorating that initial excitement. And I don't think Metal Gear Solid really did that for me at all.
Yeah, see, I did exactly the opposite of that. Maybe not to quite the extent that you did with them. I got into Metal Gear Solid, but I think Metal Gear Solid paid a lot of homage to the stuff of the past. So if you played the other games and stuff, you definitely had a connection to that, and that was something that kept you going more. Horizon, I played it, I really enjoyed it, but I ended up getting bored playing that for some reason. So,
Well, I think Horizon is, I mean, we're like comparing apples to oranges here. Like Horizon is so arcadey, right? Like it really is. It's about the big over the top action shot all the time and being this crazy action star the whole time. And Metal Gear it's also got those arcadey elements that are kind of fun to play with in it, but it's more of like a stealth simulator.
Yeah.
Right? It has a lot more of those kind of elements in it.
the first game, that's what it was called. It was
Yeah.
a stealth simulator.
Stealth, espionage. Wait.
Well, there's some really cool things about Metal Gear that I think you have to play more of it to kind of get into that, to be able to appreciate those things. I think both games are not without their flaws. They both have flaws. Neither of them are a perfect game. But in Metal Gear, it's really cool how if you get to a mission where you're really struggling with it, and you keep trying the same tactic over and over, eventually that won't work because the guys that you're attacking will get smart and they will eventually figure out that that's the tactic you're going to approach them with all the time.
Yep.
So now you're forced to change up your game. Like something like that in Horizon, it doesn't have that level of depth to it. Like it's more surface stuff, right? Like Metal Gear, I think you have to get into more. There's more stuff under the surface that you have to play it and kind of peel back some layers to get there.
Yeah. Like I mean, it's a. I feel like I'd like it if I just had more time, but I felt like I was like, all right, I need to complete it, and I was trying to rush through it, and I'm like, it's not really a game that you can rush through, right? It's a game that you really have to sit back and be really tactical and be really patient.
Yeah.
And sometimes patience is something I lack, especially when playing video games. It's like I just can't like. I'll just go in guns blazing, and that doesn't work often. Especially the beginning of the game when all you have is like your little pistol and your gun.
And again, that's part of that like peeling back the layers part again, and like discovering new weapons and finding new people that can develop those weapons for you, and then upgrading those weapons that you get, and like that whole system in the game. I really enjoyed that part of it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
I think that even if you like Metal Gear, I think there's a lot of stuff in Metal Gear 5 that you will also you'll instantly recognize as Metal Gear, right? And you'll really appreciate that all those things are in the game. But in classic Metal Gear fashion, there's so many things that are different, right? Like it's totally a Metal Gear game, but it's kind of this reinterpretation once again of Metal Gear, which is, I've said it a million times, it's one of my favorite things about Metal Gear. It constantly is reinventing itself but still managing to not alienate that core audience, right? So it does that super super well. We definitely had complaint. Our first episode was Metal Gear, and it was what's wrong with Metal Gear, right?
Yeah.
Because we really played this game, and we're just like, this is so cool. It's
Yeah.
really really awesome. It was 2015, so it was pretty early
Yeah.
in the PlayStation
That is
4.
that is a pretty
right?
good game, especially for 2015.
Yeah, it runs really smooth. Like it's really fluid. It's really pretty looking. The weather changes is really cool. The storms that come in are cool. The AI in it is awesome. It has a lot of
Well, too awesome sometimes.
yeah, it's true, right? So it does have a lot of that cool stuff in it. I definitely fell back into the groove of the classic complaints I had about the first one, though.
Yeah.
Like the one I still go to, and I get it because it's a stealth game and you're supposed to be really quiet, and so they want it to be obvious when you're not. But whenever you run in that game, it sounds like you're running through a hurricane.
It really doesn't bother me that bad.
It doesn't bother you.
I
That
don't like
drives
how
me
it
nuts.
looks too. Like it gets too close to you.
Yeah, right.
And the way you move is really weird. It's like
And that's always been a Metal Gear thing.
Yeah.
He's always had this weird kind of crouched, like, in a way. I think when I saw him do that in
Always
this
crouching.
game again, I was like, that's so Metal Gear though. Like it's fine because that's how what he's always done.
yeah. And I guess I think I can't appreciate it as much because I haven't really been a Metal Gear fan. So like it's like picking up. I can't really think of another game like Metal Gear Solid 4. I didn't understand anything about the plot of that game,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was really hard.
That was the hardest one for me to get into.
And it kind of,
Yeah,
I don't know,
really was.
I didn't like it that much until I got the railgun and I could just shoot everything and kill them really fast.
Oh,
But,
speaking
like,
My favorite weapon this game, the semi-automatic converted 50 cal sniper rifle.
Ooh,
wow.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of weapons.
BA.
I just like seeing that kind of overwhelmed me, and I think this is going to be a game that
it fights your completionist.
yeah
approach.
I'll pick up every like couple months, play for like a night or two, and then put down because it's like something about it. I can't just keep playing.
Yeah,
Like I need
well,
to take breaks for it. It's weird.
I think it deserves some credit in that way because I have not played this game pretty close to since like 2015, right? Like I have not put this game in for 2 years now. And when I put it in, it all came right back to me. Like I did fumble through a level or two to kind of get my bearings again.
Yep.
But once I did, it fell right back in. It was so much fun all over again. I just picked up right where I left off. I've got like 15 new weapons that I didn't have before because I just started developing stuff. My mother base crew is like, there's nobody on there that isn't like an A with like 4 pluses next to it, right? Like
Oh, really?
every single person in there is just stacked now.
Dang.
There's only
Well,
one person I need
How much
to find.
upgrading did you do of Mother Base, though?
I didn't do any more of that since I've been playing it.
Okay,
I just
'cause so I
kept
got-
stealing people.
have
I'm
two-
super picky about taking the people now.
Oh, so me too.
Yeah.
That, but I go through and what I do is I'll just climb up onto a hill, get my scope out, and start marking people
Yeah.
until I run out of marks that it'll give me. And it's like everybody that's S plus, and then just go take S plus people.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I started doing that, and that was kind of fun. Or like learning, oh, this guy's a D, and I was about to kick him out, but I'm like, oh, he has like an A rank in this other thing that I just got because I think I'm missing one of the bases. I think I just got the medical team. I killed Quiet, by the way. I shot her. I hate.
So
I hated that mission.
when you get into the level clearing, like the base clearing and stuff, Quiet is the best for that.
Nah.
You give her the sleeper sniper rifle, and put her just say fire at will, and you just run around and start evacuating people that are that she's putting to sleep, and you're
Yeah.
putting people to sleep. It's just run in and just taking people out. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think one of the things that instantly I fell in love with again when I started playing it was I love how each mission is so like episodic. Like I love that when you go in, you get like the opening credit scene
Yes.
and like the camera's panning around him in the helicopter, and it starts to build up. And then when you beat the level, you get the same kind of end credit scene as when you get air vac'd out. It's pretty. I really appreciate that about it. I think it's super cool. One thing that I never did when I first played the game was actually listen to the music track on your Walkman or whatever you have there.
I did it in the helicopter.
Yeah, and I've done that, but like I've listened to the songs, but I've never thought to do that while playing a mission. Mm-hmm. And so this time, so many times while I'm playing a mission and just taking out guys, it's just like Gloria, Gloria, and I'm just like blasting guys away with this sweet '80s track playing.
I can't do that.
I thought it was
'cause it's
pretty
like,
cool.
I need to be able to hear everyone, right? Like,
Well,
'cause I have
these
to-
were missions I've played before, right? Like I'd
Yeah.
go through, I do whatever I needed for my S ranking, and then there'd be like a specialist or something I wanted that was in there.
Yeah.
So I'd just crank that '80s track and just power. Just I know where you are, just take everybody down and go get it. It was pretty sweet. And I never did that the first time, which I have no idea why, but I totally encourage people to
Yeah.
explore that.
That one, I tried doing that with that one village in Africa where everything converges.
Yeah.
There's too much going on. I cannot sneak that village. I haven't been able to make it through that village yet without being detected.
Yeah.
That sucks. Well, I mean, what if you get
And then you
D-Dog?
hate it, but you love it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate D-Horse. The only good thing is that D-Horse can poop on command. That's it. D-Horse can just
That's some hardcore training.
die. Oh my god, I hate D-Horse.
So you hate Quiet, you hate D-Horse, you probably hate the dog too.
No, okay.
I hate
it's
you.
because Quiet was shooting at me and I kept dying.
Well, that's the idea of
You know
that
what
level.
happened? You know what happened? I got up to Quiet, I snuck behind her, and I was like trying to do the thing, and he was doing the animation, or he was like kind of like reaching forward. But you can't sneak attack her, and I was so pissed. And then like I get up and I'm like, what do I do? She looks at me, point blank snipes me. I'm like almost dead, and then she killed me later on in the mission. That mission sucked, and then he was like, it's your choice, kill her or not. I'm like, oh, it's giving me the choice, and I just pull out my sniper rifle, just shoot her in like the stomach. She's dead, disappears, turns into money.
And that's it. You can never use Quiet again now.
Yeah, because she sucks.
I kept all of mine. I don't use half of them. The one I always, because it's cheater, as D-Dog.
D-Dog,
And
totally.
even D-Dog, pisses me off. Especially
he
the
always
classic.
just sits down right in front of your.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've even had him, like, when I'm trying to sneak up on someone and he's next to me, and all of a sudden he'll, like, take 2 steps ahead of me and bump into him, and they turn to go, like, what? And there I am. And all of a sudden
yeah.
it's ding. I'm like, God damn it, D-Dog.
But yeah, it slows down, so you do have that time to like.
Yeah.
Do
Or
that.
just, like, quickly pull up your gun and do the headshot. That's
hopefully-
my favorite.
Hopefully, yeah.
That feeling of I'm gonna sneak on this guy, and then he notices me all of a sudden, and that like few seconds you get of what am I gonna do is so fun. That's one of
Yeah.
my favorite moments in that game.
It
for
is.
sure.
It is really tense.
I think it has a lot of really good quality. Again, even though he's this super elite soldier, for some reason he can't climb over a 6-inch rock in the field. I don't understand what that's about. The Jeeps
He
suck.
steps on it and his toe slides.
Right, and constantly. Yeah, I don't. He's wearing bowling shoes or something. I don't understand what's going on there. But the driving, I still think, is pretty much garbage in the game. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not the highlight of the game at all.
D-Horse is bad.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna write.
I
that
never
down.
even used D-Horse again. I just used the dog.
I gotta admit though, D-Horse, I got so once you get all the spoilers, the parasite armor and all that stuff, and get all that stuff upgraded, one of the upgrades you get for D-Horse is he gets the armor that looks like the parasite guys.
Oh, that's cool.
The
Yeah.
skulls.
Yeah, the skulls.
Okay.
And he's like, so he's got all this freaking jagged stuff coming off of him, and a big old unicorn horn that's like all dark and burning like lava.
So okay,
Nice.
I know how the game ends, so you don't need to worry about spoilers. Like I've heard about it before, and then I like watched videos, or I was watching videos on like Metal Gear Solid lore, and then it would just happen to really quickly explain. I'm like, oh, all right, it's just spoiled now. Like that he's the guy that you fight in the first Metal Gear game, or one of the first ones on the ship, and then, or no, it's in Metal Gear Solid 2, right? That you fight him as Snake in that game.
Metal Gear Solid 2 is mainly Raiden. It's like 90% Raiden through that game. I think you do briefly do
Or
some
what's
stuff
the
as
game
Snake.
where it's like he has the rocket launcher, you have like, or no, you have the rocket launcher, he has like the pistol, or he has the grenade launcher or something.
I don't know. Now I can't remember.
I think it's one of
Is
the
that
old
one?
ones. It's like, oh yeah, it's a
The first
top-down one. Sorry, no, it's like Metal Gear 2.
Oh,
Oh.
that's Big Boss. And
Yeah.
that was
Because
Big,
aren't
Big
you
Boss was the
like
guy.
Big Boss's clone or? I don't
Yes,
know,
you were.
Lore is
Yeah, there's all
so
sorts of
confusing.
crazy lore stuff going
But like,
on.
I don't. Also, what bugged me is that his name is Big Boss, Venom Snake, or just Venom, or Punish Snake, or Snake. Then they also have that other name they're using. They're like, this is your code name, so that no one can know who you are. It's like,
Ahab.
yeah, Ahab. Like what? That's like 7 names. Just
Yeah.
pick one.
But,
Snake.
and I think that's all part of the
Solid
lore, though,
Boss,
right?
Snake
Like, who
Big.
is Snake really, right?
Big solid.
Yeah.
Liquid was always my favorite.
Big solid Snake.
Yeah.
Or no, there was Solid
which was
Snake too.
another clone.
yeah.
I don't even. The lore is so confusing. I'm not even gonna try.
Overall,
Liquid
I mean,
Snake was the very first Solid Snake game.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Liquid Solid. There, that's my Metal Gear OC.
Oh, when you have that like throwdown on top of the Metal Gear, like that's that classic one. Yeah. I think overall the game is still. I really think it's phenomenal. I think to get it for free is awesome. I think if you own a PS4 and you have like, your 5 games you have to have, I really think this would be in one of my 5s.
Definitely.
As far as what you got to have for it.
Scores. You guys want to slap?
Yeah, should we re-slap scores on it?
You got. I didn't think about mine.
I really still, because it was so easy to jump back into, and any gripes I had with it were the same things I said before. I really think my 9.25 is pretty spot on. I really think it's a pretty good score for the game. We've had other games come out since then, but I really think this holds up pretty well. It didn't really seem that dated when I played it. A little bit, but not terribly. So if it went down at all, the furthest I'd go is a 9.
I was gonna go to a 9 with mine. So
Yeah.
Just a 9.
yeah, it was.
Because I mean, yeah, it's older now, so you.
Yeah.
Going back and playing it and stuff, it doesn't hold quite as well as I was expecting it to.
That's still an amazing score.
Oh, it's freaking awesome! It's an amazing game, and I'm definitely gonna go back and play it some more. But like I said, after playing the Horizon and seeing what they've done with that, because that game, I mean, when this came out, we were like, "Wow, look what the PlayStation 4 can do."
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
I bet.
It's like, and then Horizon comes out and it's like, "Wow, look what the PlayStation 4 can do."
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Well, and visually.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
yeah.
Visually, and that's another thing too. With console generations coming and going and all this stuff, PlayStation to PlayStation 1 or 2 to PlayStation 3, there was like distinctive changes in gameplay between each of those. But from the 3 to the 4, a lot of your gameplay really hasn't changed a lot.
I think it's because they're
You know what I'm saying?
refining it. They're finding out like what's really.
They're refining some small stuff, but I think you're getting bigger maps, you're getting more actions that you can do in the same style of gameplay,
yeah.
and better graphics. So I think from here on until VR takes over, any system's going to be just better graphics.
Well, and I think that this has done some things that's touching on what they can improve, though, right? Again, it's about peeling those layers off the surface of a game and giving it more substance underneath, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is something that Horizon needs to do. Like in the next Horizon that comes out, it needs more substance. Like it's really, really pretty on the surface. It's loads of fun to play.
We should have a Horizon episode because there's a lot I think we all should need to talk about.
Yeah, and I think we did review it.
Yeah,
we
we
did have
did.
our review
Well,
episode. but
like
we
an
could do it
episode
with
of
some
like
Frozen
what needs to
Wild.
happen in the next game, what we like
What
about
we
it,
want from
yeah.
the next one. Yeah,
I
no,
think
we
that's
can
a
do
big
that.
thing.
You know
Yeah.
they're going to announce another one. So I
Hopefully-
think we should hold that until we have an announcement of another one.
Yeah,
Okay.
So then we can
dive in.
talk about what we're looking for.
Hopefully
All right.
this E3, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean the game is good. I do really like. I don't want to harp on it too much because all the systems going on underneath, all the like crazy ways you can go about something is really awesome. But like, and the world is really interactable. But other than that, the world, because it's an open world game, it obviously matters a lot. And I wasn't that compelled to do a bunch of stuff, right? What was I? The enemies are kind of. I mean, the skulls look cool, but all the other guys, it's just like, yeah, they're just dudes.
Well, yeah, they're
I'm like-
soldiers.
They're not cool robots. And like, D-Horse is like,
I'd much rather kill a person than a robot.
D-Horse
in a
is
video game.
really finicky, I think, and because you rely on it so much in the beginning of the game, it sucks. And the fact that you can't like,
Actually, you don't have
Easily-
to. You can run. You can just get off and run wherever you want.
no, but it's not as fast. But even then,
No,
D-Horse
it's not
is
as fast.
slow.
But if you have the dog, which is the best companion,
Yeah, I always.
guess
I don't
what?
know.
You're running wherever you're going.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing is like that you have to go. You have to constantly go across this map, and
Yes. Sometimes
I
you
don't-
go across the entire map.
I don't like. I just want to be able to fast travel. I know it's a cheap thing, but it's like.
When you can do that eventually, like as you explore, you'll discover new locations, and you can always do the airback. Like you can always call in the helicopter,
Yeah.
and he'll pick you up, and then you can drop you anywhere.
But it's
else
like
on the
such
map.
a big game that it's like I'm up here, like having to be like, oh my god, I have to go all the way down there, and then I have to do a side up all the way up here, and then it's like, oh, there's another side up over there, and it's
So
just like
the way the side ops pop up and the way I generally play it is I'll complete a mission, complete all the mission objectives, get the rank on it, and then you can stay on the map once you complete everything.
Yeah, no, I don't go back to Mother Base often.
Yeah, so once you stay on the maps, just look what side op's near behind me and just run to it.
Oh, but it takes so long. I feel like I don't know if it really works as an open world game just because it's so slow to get through everything and like looking around. It's
Well,
like
it's still a
desert.
linear. It's still fairly linear.
Just
not-
stereotypical
it's not-
Iraq desert.
It's not
Yeah.
Afghanistan, but
Oh,
it's not open world until you're pretty much until you're almost done with
It's
that.
totally open
Yeah,
world.
well,
It's
and
a
as you
huge
go-
game.
Well, but and as you go, it becomes way easier to call in stuff.
Yes.
Like if you want to just drive to this other spot,
yeah,
you
you
can
just-
call in a Jeep,
hey, I need
or
a Jeep.
whatever you need, and they'll bring, as long as you've airlifted yours out, right? Or Falconed it, or whatever
Yeah.
that thing's called.
Yeah.
As long as you have one in your supply, you can always call it to you. It does really pick up the pace of the game as you go. I could really totally understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
though, because I don't think it's not a real instant gratification game. It just isn't. Like you have to put in the time to get those things out of it.
Yeah.
But again, I think that for me, that's why I think it sits pretty high in my, you need to have this if you have a PS4, because if you only have a few games, you're going to get so much gameplay out of this game. This game's going to last you forever.
I get what you're saying about how about how it picks up and how you can do all that. It's just like the getting there part for me is kind of a slog. Right as of now, I'm gonna have to give it a 6.75.
All right. I think that's fair enough.
Fired.
Well, I think, yeah, right. I also think
'Cause
it's difficult to make this a nerd play, right? To only have to cram this in while you're playing
yeah.
other games and play this on your free time. To have that be the experience with it, I think is trickier.
Yeah.
And it's 2 years after it came out. Like all these things do add up.
We did have a leg up in that aspect because we had so much stuff already.
What do you mean?
Well, we'd played it. We've already had all the sidekicks.
Oh yeah,
everything.
we jumped in badass already, right?
I
Yeah,
think,
we didn't have to build up to
I'm gonna
it.
keep playing it over time, and I might come back again and talk about how I feel later. But like, yeah, because I would like to get sort of like the full experience
Yeah.
and hope, yeah. But as of now, I mean, it's cool, but it's like it's not. I don't know.
It's less groundbreaking,
It's not
for sure.
quite my cup of tea. It's not
Yeah.
quite my open world game, but
Yeah,
it's really
fair
good.
enough.
Like it's better than the crappy Assassin's Creed games and Mad Max and all those dumb stereotypical open world games. It's
And again, there's really nothing else quite like it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate, again, also why I think it deserves that spot in my limited library. It just does. So yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on. We get to pick a new one. We get Bound or Worms Battleground. I've dabbled in both, and I'm going to say it's a really hard sell on the Worms Battleground. I didn't like it at all.
Okay.
Bound, I just quickly started it. It really seems like very emphasized kind of art piece game, a little bit Journey like.
Okay.
So
finished Swan
yeah, that kind of thing.
because it's made by Santa Monica. They like publish all those types of games.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm inclined to pick that one.
All
If
right,
you guys don't
that's fine.
care,
Sure.
should we play that?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be this super big commitment. You can crack out on your Wolfenstein or whatever else you need to do.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, Wolfenstein.
and Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. So we're gonna play Bound for the next few weeks. Play it with us. It's free right now. Pick it up. Let us know what you think. So let's move on to our anime.
Okay.
Let's do it. So we watched Psycho Pass. We all watched it. I finished the last episode like 2 days ago,
Oh, nice.
so I just finished it. Who wants to start?
I guess I will.
Go for it, Jack.
Psycho
glare
Pass,
over that way.
If you don't know what it is, it's like sort of
Thank
a
you. Thank you for explaining it. I always forget to do
a
that.
negative utopia, right? That's how they describe 1984. Like technically, it's perfect, really, because there's not much. Like in this situation, technically, it's like perfect because there's not that much crime, or like theoretically there shouldn't be, because you have like these scanners in your brain, and if your stress level gets too high, what happens is like it basically detects, oh, if your stress level is this high, that means you're probably going to commit a crime, so the police will come after you and they'll put you in rehab. But like the stress level determines like your social status. It determines like your job status for a lot of people. Like if it gets too high at some point, you're probably not gonna be able to have a good job ever again, and that makes it more stressful for people.
Yeah.
So like you have to have a
It's like our credit system.
like a
Well,
like
see,
a
one of the things about
conscience.
the whole part of how that affects society itself, I wish they would have touched more and gone more into depth on that.
Yeah.
Other than just, oh my God, your stays so clear. How
Yeah.
does that happen? How do
Yeah.
you stay so clear? We don't get how you stay so clear.
Or
Yeah.
the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like just black. Like,
But
why is it that
talking
way all
to
the
you
time?
makes it make somebody else dirty.
Or there was there was that guy they were beating up in the episode about like the factory where you like program the machines to kill people. Like they were beating him up because he had a crappy conscience, and that kept theirs clean. I thought that was pretty cool. But so basically,
There's like this balancing system.
Yeah, I'm really bad with Japanese. I'm bad with names in general. Japanese names, really bad with. But there's this girl with like Tsunemura.
Oh, I have it. I made sure to
There's
save
this
it on
girl,
here
and
because
she
I'm the
joins-
same way. It's
yeah,
like
she joins the
they're not
police
names
force.
you hear every day.
And basically, it's like there's the officers, and then they have these almost like slaves, people that were officers, or like
Tsunemori
yes, her name's Tsunemori, or
with a silent T.
yeah, but like they were officers, but or some of them aren't, but they're now like their psychopath levels got like super high, so now they go in the field and they do all the dirty work. They have these dope guns.
You can say ass. Ass is
Dope
okay.
ass guns. And like basically it'll scan people for you, and it will like it might be in stun mode if their psychopath isn't too high, but it's like, oh, they're probably gonna commit a crime. But if their psychopath is really high, you just shoot it and it like
Oh, it totally like
Yeah.
it cures them,
yeah,
right?
like,
Like,
ah! But
that's
instead
my
of just
favorite.
getting
One of my
bigger,
favorite
they
things.
explode,
Yeah.
and it's so awesome. Like the effects of it and the sounds. They have replica ones, but they're really expensive. If I'm ever rich, I'll get one.
that actually like change.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Like,
That would be so
the
cool to
guns
do.
are just so crazy anime, but
Can't
it's
stand
it's awesome.
I think
I like the
action
results of the
scenes-
guns, but
yeah.
I just don't.
I don't like how it pauses. Like I kept as I was watching, I was like, "Is this moment of the gun acknowledging with them?" Because it's like the gun is assigned to each person,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
only that person can use it. So it like taps into whatever they've kind of got
Their
like
network, yeah.
their network that's like internally in them. A little bit Ghost in the Shell-ish. I almost felt like
Yeah.
So the gun's only them, and there's this definite few seconds where the gun's like, let me scan them, as this person's pissed and gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Yes, their psychopath is too high. Now aim carefully, please. Trigger released, fire, and you're like, dude, that person would be dead by now, right? Like,
Yeah,
is that
and
all in
usually
their
the
head?
person's like standing still,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm gonna kill you. Let me reach in my pocket and pull out my.
Yeah, it's like-
yeah, that is kind of dumb.
I kept thinking, like-
that's what I didn't like, and then the whole time it took for it to acknowledge, and then once it
then
acknowledges,
it,
it
like,
has to transform.
Yeah,
You know, it's like,
no.
okay, yeah, that's a lot of time wasted, especially.
And
if it's,
then
like
it also
you
like
said with the person that's that high of the pass,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah, no,
I like when it like goes around your hand. That's when you know it's like crazy. Like it goes
Yeah.
over your hand.
You are committed at that
Yeah.
point, right? There's no turning back now.
So it like it's like takes the
yeah, that's what
it
it did
takes
that-
the consideration out of it. It's like they're a criminal. Just shoot the gun.
I think that's the biggest emphasis of
But that's
the
how
show.
you don't cloud your
Yeah.
your pass because it's
You don't
like,
have to think about it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Well, and I think that's the biggest point the show drives home. I almost think it's like it's got kind of a Ghost in the Shell feel, even a Matrixy a little bit feel, where it's like this built society where standards have been put on the society for what good and bad is, and you just have to follow the rules. There's really no moral obligation to do the right or wrong thing. It just is that's the right or the wrong thing. So it's
Yeah.
like
And I do
choice has been taken out of it,
yeah.
which I think is what the show keeps driving forward. And there's this main, the big brain computer system that decides the fate of all
Sybil.
that is Sybil. Yeah, and so there's all these other brains that Sybil brings in to formulate what the best course of action is for society. So it's kind of like I
Are
guess
we
the way
gonna
I think
go into
Matrix.
spoilers?
I mean, I guess a little bit if you want. For me, the thing that makes it Matrixy is that in the Matrix, it's this ideal world that the computers make, and they try to facilitate that for the
Yeah.
people, right? According to their standards. But of course, we're people, and we always want to break the rules and go against the grain, right?
Yep.
And this is that same kind of scenario where the computers have come in and they have
And
their
like-
idea of what's perfect, right?
And like Matrix 2, anybody can have their own avatar, which is changed instantly.
Oh yeah. Their hollow whatever
Yeah.
things they call them. Yeah. So I really enjoyed season 1. I thought I preferred season 1 over season 2.
Oh, you watched both seasons?
Yeah.
Did you watch both
Oh,
seasons?
I thought we were just watching the one.
Oh no, I watched the whole thing.
Oh, dang it.
Well, I think you watched the better of the two seasons. I almost think season 1 has a little bit of a Cowboy Bebop feel, also with I was trying to see
With
what his
the
name is.
one character, yeah.
Yeah, with that guy and then his nemesis, right? They're so
Yeah.
they're
Yes.
so like similar but opposite, right? Which is so Cowboy Bebop. With what is it, Vicious and Spike? Is that
Wow,
right?
they have easy to remember names.
Yeah, right. Theirs are easy. These ones aren't. His name. I was trying to look it up. What it is? It's Kogami. I think is what they
Kogami.
call it.
Is
They
that-
call him
that's
through the whole
other
beginning. He's got the
inspector.
frazzle hair. The guy that's her is like kind of
What do they call?
It's
What
her
are they-
enforcer.
yeah,
the
enforcer. There you
They're
go.
like they're like almost like slaves. No,
Yeah.
he's really cool because he like almost kills this chick in the first episode. Like he just doesn't care. Like he is totally.
Well, and it's because he
He's an
doesn't
asshole.
he doesn't
Yeah.
need to care. Like his fate's already been decided.
Yeah,
like,
and I
once
love
he's
that
done,
about him.
yeah,
Like,
once he's
just-
done serving the police force, it's already decided what's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
So it's like why should he care anymore?
Yeah.
All the enforcers are that way.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
one thing he cared about was this tracking down this nemesis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that whole as that all built and it in a way I wouldn't say it was like Death Note-ish, but it had like elements of that like cat and mouse and like putting the puzzle pieces together to find that person and like I really enjoyed all
Yeah.
that in that first season. It was done really well, I thought.
Yes.
The animation's really good. It's such a good balance of hand drawn stuff with computer elements in there to like flower it up.
Yeah,
Definitely.
like the Dominator, especially when it goes
Yeah.
into crazy mode. There's like no way.
Oh, and the action scenes, like
But
when
it
they're
looks-
when
yeah.
they're gonna fire and they're like moving to the side to dodge this other attack or something as
It's
they're
so
firing the
fluid
gun.
and
It's like,
smooth.
oh, it's super cool looking.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. And then the bubble explosion of the body with the
yeah,
with the
or the
pussy
one
blood
guy's
sack.
arm, right?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
Cool.
Which you talking about the animation? I went and was one of the suggestions came up, and it was Elfen Lied,
Yeah,
and I haven't seen that since 10 years ago or longer even.
yeah,
And I totally appreciate the classic art though, so much better. All the hand drawn.
Yeah.
The whole intro is done with watercolors
Oh.
and stuff. That's like it's just, and you can see the texture of the watercolor paper when they're doing it. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
freaking awesome. And then it went into it, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how much blood and boobs there was.
yes, right, like right away in that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a weird balance, right? Should I be enjoying watching? this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
'Cause I am.
Yeah. Well, I think so. If you watch season 2, my favorite part about as a whole season 2, it's kind of a regurgitation of the first season without such a personal vendetta. Like that first
Yeah.
season that's what drives it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
The second season, it's just kind of society as a whole that we're dealing with. It's less of that like personal one-on-one. Like it kind of turns into that by the end, but again, it's like
Well,
it's like robot and like all these personas.
It's
and,
essentially
like-
it turns into essentially society versus Sybil,
yeah, right.
and society is represented
Which I-
by the bad guy.
yeah.
Which was kind of like near the end of the first one when they got the masks
Yes.
that wouldn't detect your psychopaths. It was kind of like
It would copy from whoever's around or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. But the
they get.
Sugan, what was her name? The main chick.
I know what
Sugami,
that
or-
spoiler is.
The coolest part I thought with season 2 is that I believe it takes place about 2 years after, year and a half
Okay.
from the first season. They mention it in there somewhere, but she's moved up kind of in her ranks. She starts out as a rookie.
Yes.
When season 1 starts, so you get to watch her grow up, and other people kind of take her under her wing, and then they're all impressed by what she can do, and she kind of starts to move up in the ranks. And so in season 2, she has done that.
Yes.
And so it really does a good job, I think, of advancing her character, even in the way she looks. Like she looks younger in that first season,
Mm-hmm.
and is a little bit more bimbo-y, kind of like new to the scene.
Yeah.
And then in the second season, she's the one that's like calm
She's
and
jaded.
freaking everybody else out. Yeah, it's like she's already figured out what's going to happen, and she's not as worried about it, while everybody else is freaking out because she's so calm about everything. Right?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that progression. through the
I've seen this already,
Yeah, right. It's like I know what's going to
and
happen.
I've seen more than you guys ever will. So
Honestly, I don't like her. I didn't like her character in the first season. Like she was just so like you're a police officer. I don't know. She was always wearing like really like short skirts. I'm like, yeah, what makes
what
no
part
sense?
of anime did you not
You're on
get?
the field. You are going to get shot probably or stabbed.
Yeah.
Wear some like vests and like bulky pants.
Well, that's what the enforcers are for. They're not supposed to be the ones that are in front.
Well,
getting-
she's always running around. I don't know. And her character annoyed me. She was too like
She is better in
loud.
season 2.
Okay.
And I almost think that when you watch season 2, you can appreciate her character in season 1 a little better
Okay.
because you've seen that growth. It
Yeah.
does do a really good job of establishing growth within her, especially. Some of the other characters, even too, that were in that original team, because you start to lose a lot of those people in season 1. But in season 2, you start to get some growth from those people also. I think that's one thing that anime does really well compared to like Western cartoons, right? Like American
Character growth,
cartoons.
yeah.
I think
Yeah, that's
we really
not
struggle
often.
with that. I think.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's because ours is all you can take and watch any episode at any
Yeah,
point
it's
in
all
time.
disconnected.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you do that?
It has nothing to do with anything else.
yeah,
You know, and theirs it's always got a timeline. It's always got a storyline that they're following.
one of my favorite things about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
easily.
I definitely I like that a lot more. I think.
Oh, totally.
Um,
Like I said, with the comics and stuff that we read, even we get here, even a lot of our comics are that way, but we still get an episodic storyline with our comics.
yeah.
Why can't we do that with our cartoons?
Well, I mean, I think South Park's a really good blend. Like they're all kind of disconnected. You can watch them however you want, but like if you start at the beginning of the season, like where Cartman like they smash all his stuff and then Cartman changes and he has that character development thing. But like in that season, I was watching with my friend. Mr. What's his face was running for president, and he was like basically just Donald Trump. But I guess that started in the season before, so it's like there's always character development somehow, and I enjoy it for that. But
And that one, I would say, like, I think that American cartoons, and I guess anime too, a lot of times in anime, you can just skip a few episodes and it's fine.
Yeah,
like, you
filler.
will catch up.
Yeah.
But American ones, I think, cater to that a little more. You can have gaps in there. Even when we had our Futurama show, Futurama, I think, does a good job of at least following its own rules that it establishes per episode. Like, the characters kind of grow and they establish, we're going to do this in this episode, and then from then on, that's a rule, and they follow it from then on out, which is kind of cool. But again, you don't have to watch them in order. When we were kids growing up, it was really common for when a show first got introduced to do like a 4-part story arc. Right? Like
yeah.
that was how the show, it tests the waters for like a month on TV.
Yeah.
If people watched it enough, then they would now make it into a show that happened every weekend. But like G.I. Joe was that way. There's that whole, Cobra Commander, the initial introduction to him and meeting him.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-episode arc. Transformers was that way. Thundercats is that way. Like
Definitely.
so many of the Ninja Turtles was that way.
Pirates Dark Water.
Yeah,
Same way.
like they all start out that way, and then I don't know what happens after that. It's like I don't know if the demand is so high to get those every single weekend that you have to sacrifice that part of it. They can't be working that far ahead. I don't know.
well, I think part of it's that like as you make more, the viewer retention rate or whatever, it goes lower. So like if they want to keep that up, they have to not have them all be connected, because it's like, oh, this is episode 50. I only watched 1 through 30. How am I supposed to get the other 20?
Yeah.
So then they can't watch.
And
then,
that's very true, because I have stopped watching several animes because I've gotten too big of gaps in them.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I even think with Psycho-Pass, like season 2 is great, and it's awesome to see that growth. But I think this is a really good candidate for a show that maybe could take place in a different city. Like if this is a worldwide thing that's going on where Sybil is deciding the fate of everybody in the world, I don't know if it's
Except
just
for
like
they-
that
they-
one
I think it
continent
was
or
just
what.
Japan.
And so they acknowledged that it was just Japan.
Yeah, like at least do like a different city. Like with a different team
because
and a
like,
different group.
that was one of the things is Sybil was trying to say, well, look, it's somebody from America coming over and causing all these problems. No, it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
internal, but Sybil was trying to gloss it over as no, there's no
Yeah.
problems with
Yeah,
Sybil.
it was cool how Sybil built up its own ego as the show went on, right? Because it totally did. It's like trying to validate itself more and more and more as the show went on.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I really enjoyed it. I didn't really think I would enjoy it as much as I did when I first started watching it, but by the end, I really thought it was pretty good. I think it's worth watching. It's not a crazy amount of episodes.
No.
Yeah.
And I watched it
Very-
in English.
very
Did you guys watch it in English?
I
No, we
watched
don't-
it in Japanese.
Japanese.
Okay. The English voice acting, fine. Nothing wrong with it. There is not the bimbo-y annoying character that, you can't stand. A lot of the voice actors you are going to reckon, like Piccolo's in there.
Nice.
I think
is
Spike
Piccolo-
might have actually been in there. Piccolo, I think, he's in season 2.
Oh, okay.
So I love it when an anime can do that, right? Like it doesn't take that little kid approach when you make it Americanized. So
Nice.
I actually really liked it. I think if I have to put a score on it, I'm gonna give it an 8. I think it
Good.
is great. It's a show I would watch again.
I'm gonna go solid 7.
7.
Yep.
I think the main character Tsunemori, right?
Yeah.
I didn't like her that much, but yeah, I remember she does develop a lot over in the season, and I should watch season 2. I thought we were only watching season 1. Wow. But I
Season
like
2 is the short one.
I really like all the other characters, and I really like the questions that it raises, like all the concepts, all the what ifs, and just thinking about it is really cool. Like I don't have many shows or games or whatever where I can just think about afterwards and be like, what if they did this? How does this work, right? But it isn't. It's not like a show that raises all these questions and then answers them dumbly. It answers the questions in a really cool way, but then it still leaves more. So I'm gonna give it a 8.5, 8.25.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I really like
Now
it.
you have
and-
to watch season
yeah,
2.
I have
You
to
had the
watch season
highest
2.
numbers, so you got to watch season
Yeah.
2.
but it's good. Totally recommend it.
Yeah, no, I completely recommend. Visually, story-wise,
Oh, yeah.
character-wise, like
It is
all of it
beautiful.
is it's top notch.
And the Dominator's just awesome.
They're okay. Dominator's okay. It's a little overrated.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up, dude! I'll shoot you with that thing.
Yeah.
What,
Hence
is it
he's got the
overrated?
lowest
My
score,
psychopath-
right? That's the,
Yeah,
that's
your
the Dominator.
psychopath is cloudy, dude.
Yeah. So we have a dilemma. Do we want to pick a new anime? I don't know if anybody wants to bring one to the table. I had one in mind that I would love to actually explore again because we've never put a score on it.
What?
What's that?
My Hero.
Sure.
Oh,
Is anybody down to watch?
He
My
always
Hero?
talks about it. Yeah.
It is so. I would love to watch season 1 again now and go back and check it out because I remember it being so amazingly awesome and really kind of setting this new anime standard for me.
Is it on
but We've
Netflix?
never put a score on it. No, it's Hulu or Crunchyroll. Jack's favorite thing. Crunchyroll sucks if you don't buy the
yes,
monthly
it sucks
subscription.
so bad if you don't.
The same commercial
I'm
four
waiting-
times in a row.
I'm waiting for the couple of shows that I've been watching on there
yeah.
to like come back with their new seasons,
binge it.
and I haven't canceled it yet because I tried watching something else after canceling it.
Yeah.
The first time this happened,
Yeah.
and it's like I wanted to just watch one show of something, and it was so bad. I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's worth paying it just so that if I have the urge to go watch something.
Psychopath
there.
was a rough one.
And now you got season 2.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if you guys
do it
aren't
on one.
opposed to it.
No,
Does
that's
that
good.
work for you?
Yeah, it works for me.
Okay. So
Finally
watch
the
it with
show.
us. We're gonna try to have it done by the end of the month. We'll see. Might spill over a little bit. It's a little bit longer. There's 2 seasons. 2 seasons, Jack. Did you hear me? 2 seasons.
All right.
We'll decide. Maybe we can decide a couple late episodes in if how far we want to go. With
Yeah.
it. If we want to go
Yeah.
season 1 or 2, you let me know how it's treating you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play Bound.
Yep.
That's our nerd play.
That one looks
Circle
good.
it for me
Circle it for you. Will that help you?
on the one that's keeping.
Oh,
us
there we
track.
go. Yeah. Intern. And our new anime is My Hero Academia. And I'm really hoping it's going to be as amazing as my first impression. So that kind of wraps up our show, but I do want to touch on a couple things because I think it's big news for the week. Jack's really bummed about this. I think this is super cool because on our show, I've talked a bunch of crap about trophies.
Yes,
I think
you have.
trophies are bragging rights. That's all they're for. I don't care about trophies. I have so many games where I'm like 2 trophies away from getting a platinum. I bet there's 10 games on my list that are that way. And I just don't care. It doesn't matter to me at all. They aren't worth anything
Until
until Sony has announced that your PlayStation trophies will actually be worth something, and something real. You will get, for every 1,000 points, you get a $10 PlayStation store card that you can spend on games. So the way the program works, because I actually went in to set it all up, it's super convoluted. It's really annoying. You have to set up a Sony rewards account, step 1. Step 2, link your PlayStation account to that rewards account. And then step 3, there's a rewards list of all of your rewards options. You just don't get those right out of the gate. Pretty lame. You have to actually go in and click each one that you want to activate. And then from that point on, as you collect trophies, and there's a bunch of other options on there too, the trophies are silver, gold, and platinum. You have to click the reward for each one on the list. And then once you activate it, from that point on, your trophies will count. Anything you've gotten previously does not count at all. How many platinums do you have, Jack?
21.
Wow. So based on the PlayStation formula of the trophies here, if you would have just waited and not platinumed those games, you would have $210 to spend at
so
the
pissed
PlayStation
right
Store. So I think for somebody like me, I bet if you went and looked at your trophies, Jay, you'd be surprised at how many, maybe you really are actually just a couple away from a platinum.
Oh, maybe.
Right? So like people that are in
well,
our
I-
boat, this is awesome.
Uncharted 1, I know I could probably platinum pretty easy.
Yeah.
I'm only got a couple to do on that. But Uncharted 2s and 3,
Resogun. I
I
could
think
get
I got quite a
Resogun
bit.
like tonight if I felt like it.
Yeah, but make sure you go in and set
Yeah.
it all up first. It's this weird convoluted process of setting it up. You really have to be diligent about it and just make sure that everything is actually activated. It's not just a one set up Sony rewards. I would like every reward possible that you can give me for everything I do for my
nope.
Sony account. That's how it should be. That's not how it is. So really make sure you go and check all that
It's
out.
like they don't want you to get the rewards.
Right? They're making it a real pain in the ass. So the way the rewards work is for every 100 silver trophies, you get 100 points. For every 25 gold trophies, you get 250 points. And for, 10 platinum trophies, sorry, it's not one, you get 1,000 points. So you need to have 10 of them. So my math was totally wrong. You would have $20 in the PlayStation Store. That's less of a blow.
Now that hurts a little bit.
So every 1,000 points, you get $10 on the PlayStation Store. Plus, you get 1 point for every dollar that you spend on the PlayStation Store. I wonder if that
Wow.
works with your $10 you get. Do you get 10 points
Probably
if you
not.
spend the $10?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. And like I said, there's a bunch of other rewards on there. So it's worth just going through the list of the rewards options. I checked mine. I am like 4 away from $10 off on the store, and I haven't done anything other than just activate all the rewards.
Yeah.
So it's worth just going through to do that. I guess it brings it, and it also brought up the question that I was thinking. I don't know how similar the achievements are and trophies, like if they're the same.
Yeah, achievements are the same. It's just like
If I have if let's say Metal Gear Solid, if I have Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation 4 and I have Metal Gear Solid for Xbox, are the achievements and the trophies the same tasks?
yeah, they're the same tasks except on Xbox you get this thing called Gamer Score. So like I kind of like how they do it there because it's I mean looking at trophy levels is it's all right. I mean like sometimes it might tell like they could have just played a billion games to get, you know, a level 20 or they could have played a few games and gotten platinums. I mean, he's level 17. He's not even level 20 like me. So
Yeah,
I checked
but
this
still,
morning.
I've never gotten a platinum and
But,
I'm level 17. It means I play a crap load of games, right?
Yeah.
That's what that means.
But on Xbox, they just have a cumulative score, the gamer score. So it's just like a straight number, not like, 20% or level 20, 99%, this many, whatever, right? So I think like certain, like I think a number is tied to these, and I think they added platinums recently or like the equivalent of it, which is just like you get a bunch of gamer score for getting all the achievements. So like a gold might give you, you know, a few gamer score more than silver, which would be more than bronze. But that they wouldn't be labeled bronze, silver, or gold. It's just like you get numbers for them.
100
but they're
points,
the same.
250
yeah.
points.
But they're the
300
same tasks.
Yeah, yeah.
So
On every
that was
system, it's
that
always
was my concern was like, so what if all of a sudden now all the games are going to add in 50 more things you have to do that are a real pain in the ass just so it's harder to get a platinum so you get your $10 off. But if they're the same cross-platform,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't see as much concern with that. So it's kind of cool though. I don't hate trophies as much as I did. I love that they actually serve a purpose.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge props to Sony. It's a bitch to get it all set up. Go through all the steps. Just do it. You will get a bunch of points by just doing that.
Feel
So
defeated.
So when you get a tabletop race, platinum.
right, that's another one I need to do. South Park is one. I'm only a couple trophies away from the new South Park. I bet the old one is the same way. So I don't know. We'll see if I can get my 10 in there. I need to do something to at least
I could
get
probably-
my 4 points.
The old South Park, I'm pretty sure I could probably platinum that one.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's cool. I think it's pretty cool that they did it.
It is cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna be rolling in money real soon.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to announce is that also Sony has updated their PlayStation app they have on your phone. Have you guys noticed this? Use the app. It's got
I need
this.
to figure out my password.
It's
I don't even know.
first world problems, right?
Well, my dad made it weird and dumb.
The app is way more streamlined now. It's really responsive. When I went in, there's a section in there that's PlayStation Plus, kind of like what's on your PlayStation 4. You can click it, takes you right to all your free games. You can go to the section, download those games. It'll bring you to the list. You click the ones you want, hit download. Like it's that easy. It's super cool. I'd never had the app freeze once during the process. Usually when I go to buy my games through the app, it takes me like 3 times in and out because it'll freeze, right? Didn't happen once. So I don't know if the actual store, the mobile version of the store has also been updated. I think it probably has. So props again to Sony. They get double props today. And so check it out. I don't know. I think the app is still a super awesome way to go. It's a great way to just stockpile those free games.
Nice.
Yeah. You can just do it on the go, right?
Did you... So, the Xbox One X, debuted.
Yeah.
And did you hear,
Debuted. I like that.
Did you hear what Sony did with that? Oh, they totally said, "Oh, that's great. Same day, we're releasing the bundle pack for the PlayStation 4 Pro. You get this plus 5 of our top-rated games for the same price."
Yeah, nice.
My
Nice.
God.
Yeah. Console wars.
Yeah.
And lastly, in my news, I just because we're GTA fans, I have to announce GTA 5 has sold over 85 million copies. Puts it in the number
It
3
is just
spot.
going.
That's insane. It's still doing it. And if you check the report on what has sold the most out of the month, always in there. Always
Yeah.
in the top 10, most commonly in the top 5. It typically sits at number 3, which is where it sits in the top selling games of all time. I'm actually going to call it number 2 because I don't think Tetris counts. Tetris is the number 1, and I think it's got like 170 million copies sold. And then underneath that is Minecraft. I believe it's about 120, something like that.
Wow.
And so
Minecraft's-
then, yeah,
Jeez.
and then under that is GTA. So
Nice.
kudos to GTA. We love you. Play it every Tuesday. So lastly, things for next week. We got some big stuff coming out. Something that I'm super excited about, and something I'm a little bit worried about. A lot of bit worried about.
Okay.
We have Justice League comes out on the 17th.
Next week on my birthday.
We're gonna go see it. Jack's birthday's coming up. Also,
I had a better birthday movie. Just saying.
nice. I like it's always comparing here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah,
We're lifting
yeah.
kilts. Yeah.
I have a better show, though.
Yeah. That's true.
Oh, I guess it's not.
The Punisher comes out on Netflix also the same day, 17th. Yes! So, yeah, I'm super stoked about that. So check them both out. If you want, please let us know what you think of them. You can find us on Twitter, at NerdBuzz. Check it out there.
Don't at me.
Find us on Facebook. You can join our NerdBuzz group. Any way you want. You can nerdbuzz@nerdbuzz.com if you want to email
Instagram.
us.
Don't forget Instagram. It's the most important one. It's where
That's right, and
everyone is.
Instagram
It's
also.
just a few
All that
now.
stuff. Please let us know what you think. All the input is awesome. It really keeps us going. Like, share, and subscribe. Digital tipping, we appreciate it. And lastly, I want to give a shout out to Mark and Chris because they had me on their podcast, which was really cool last week. It's called the Enthusiast Life Podcast. Each week they talk about something else that they're enthusiastic about. We talked about comic books, so it was cool. It was a lot of fun. Really cool guys. They were willing to come back and be on our show anytime, so I'm gonna probably get a hold of them sometime in the future. We'll do something with them.
Nice.
Maybe we can even just kind of do a show about podcasting. That might be kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Just get what their story is and with our story. And I think this week they're talking about Android and iPhone and just how much we're all dependent on smartphones and just
Oh, yeah.
the way that works. So
My smartphone has replaced like 90% of everything else I do.
yeah, right.
I mean,
So-
I don't use a computer at all, hardly.
Right now, we're going to steal their show idea. I can see it happening already. But no, they're really cool guys. Go check out their show at The Enthusiast Life. I think they're up Google Play, all the good stuff like we are. So I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Sweet.
Right? Let's do the beer score. What do
Awesome.
you think of our beers today?
I love this beer. I'm not usually a fan of a red.
Me either.
But this,
know, my-
It's not red.
Actually,
It's
my favorite-
brown, you idiot. Can't even see colors. No good.
dude, turn 21, then you can talk.
Oh,
Yeah. I will say, though, my favorite red I think I've ever had was at the 282, where we went and gave away some T-shirts. Props to them. It was a nitro red.
Really?
And it was really weird, but the nitro actually it took away a little bit of the heavy sweetness of it, which was kind of interesting. It was just
Weird.
kind of like it was weird how it just mellowed it out. But as far as a non-nitro red, I think this is actually pretty good. It's not. Again, the one that because the show that you missed out on, we had a Pike Brew beer also. We
Okay.
did the Monk Uncle, their triple.
Uncle.
And I really thought that beer was super balanced. Right,
It was.
Nothing was abrasive on either
Very
end
good
of it.
triple.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of right in that category. So I'm really kind of leaning towards this Pike Brewing. I think they're pretty good.
Nice.
It doesn't taste like alcohol by the end. It's fine now that it's warmed up in my hand. It's like I really like it.
The mouthfeel definitely grew as it warmed up a little bit.
Yeah, sticks
And,
to your tongue a little more.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's damn good though. Mm-hmm. Stays smooth all the way through. Flavor profiles are very defined and clean through it all. It just doesn't linger and just go ew afterwards. You don't have to say, like, you're not sitting there going, like, God, I need a sip just to get rid of that.
Yeah, yeah,
And then just compounding the problem because you're drinking what was giving the problem anyway.
yeah.
But it's
And it's also light. Like, it's interesting how rich the flavors are, but how light it is on your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate that about it. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's really good. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Nice. I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it's pretty good.
Nice.
Mine was bad. It was better. It was better than the balls I had because it was like that taste. Was all the taste. This, it was just in the back of my mouth. But then the other taste was sugary. I could feel my teeth getting like a shiny new coat of plaque. Like it just doesn't feel good for you. And when you drink it, you just feel sick. Like even sitting here, it's like I'm like I don't want to move. 3.75. That's what I give it. It was really
nice.
I don't.
So
I like Jones.
He's
so
still turdish. It's still turdish.
This
nice.
sucks. This is just ruining all my old favorite sodas. I'm going to the intern camp.
All right. So let's do one last time.
All right.
Right? You ready, Jack? To all the nerds, through all the fuzz, bottoms up. Let's get nerd buzzed.
There's the button. I've been messing up every time.
Talking about beer,
Serious
talking
problem.
about nerd
I had the
culture.
J buttons
You're
on my
on
face.
nerd
You can tell every time he puts
all about
headphones on.
Marcus
Yeah,
and
right.
Jeremiah.
Like, share, subscribe.
You're
all that
on
digital
nerd
tipping, we appreciate
buzz.
Yeah, Jack, you know,
Let's get nerd buzzed.